This is the most powerful enchanting material I've ever seen. Metal sand. Just bury the blade in the sand before quenching, and it can greatly enhance the toughness and sharpness of the blade. And today's knife forging competition is a showdown of top-notch experts. Faced with such formidable contestants, the production scene naturally didn't hold back. They directly bought 4 rifles and asked the contestants to forge a unique short blade using them as materials. 3-hour extreme knife forging. The countdown begins. Jax plans to forge a Bowie knife with a D-shaped guard. After designing the blade shape, he quickly uses a chainsaw to cut open the gun barrel, then throws it into the iron furnace to start heating. After it's heated, he first chooses to forge and melt it by hand hammering. After Rick gets the steel, he doesn't start forging right away, but first observes the structure of the gun. Then he decides to forge a Bowie knife with it to win the competition. After cutting off the steel pipe, he first uses a grinder to clean off the surface impurities, then starts heating. However, due to insufficient heating, it's extremely strenuous when hammering with a hammer. Jess plans to forge a reverse curved camping knife. Although this blade shape is simple, it's deeply loved by knife makers. He uses a cutting machine to cut from the side, then directly throws it into the furnace for forging. However, when he's extending and lengthening it, the steel billet starts to bend. As the temperature cools, the risk of the steel billet breaking is increasing. After observing the steel, Sane decides to design a full-tang Bowie knife. After heating is complete, he places the steel billet on the tip of the anvil, and then opens up the gun barrel with a hand hammer. I have to say, this method is indeed time-saving and labor-saving. 1 hour has passed. Jax's tang has already taken shape, and he starts adjusting the details by hand hammering. Then he uses an angle grinder to directly grind out the blade tip. Next, he takes out his secret weapon, metal sand. He knows that the carbon content of the gun barrel is not high, so he decides to heat the blade and then bury it in the metal sand. Doing this can change the crystal structure and enhance the toughness and sharpness of the blade. Seeing this operation, the judges can't help but praise it repeatedly. In comparison, Rick isn't having such a smooth time. He tries to flatten the gun barrel by hand hammering throughout the process, but he's already exhausted after hammering just half of it. Finally, he decides to give up hand hammering and switch to a power hammer. This directly saves him a lot of time. Sane's knife blank has also taken shape, but there's a crack on his blade. However, he thinks it's not a big problem and can be solved with a little grinding. Jess's knife blank is getting thinner and thinner in the middle. The tapping knife he originally wanted to forge is no longer possible. After a brief thought, he decides to switch to forging a Nepalese knife. There's only 1 hour left. After adjusting the details, Sane is the first to complete the quenching of the knife blank. The blade has a slight bend, so he directly uses iron tongs to tighten it and sprays water to assist in the correction. On the other side, Jax follows closely and completes the quenching of the knife blank. The result is quite good. Rick is the third to complete the quenching treatment and starts making the final detail adjustments. At this point, only contestant Jess hasn't started quenching yet. Before quenching, he suddenly has a brainwave and decides to show off a special skill. But in this last bit of time, will he make it in time?